What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining my channel. Today we have a very special guest, Joseph Dennis. Joseph, how are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, first, before we start off the video, I'm going to ask you a random question, and that random question is, can you do an American accent? Because you're from London, and then
Oh no.
I just want to see what your American accent
Question.
is.
Oh no. All right.
Try it.
I compose. Hey y'all, I'm from Texas. Let's go get some Chick-fil-A.
It's pretty good.
Oh
Um,
man.
what's that?
I tried.
No, it was good. What's that fast food place that you guys like in England? I remember you talked about it on one of the How to Life calls. It was like it was like the Chick-fil-A version of or English, I don't know. What's a popular restaurant there?
Was it uh Nando's?
Mando's or is it
Nando's. So
oh,
Nandos.
Nando's.
Nando's.
Okay, let me try
Yeah.
this. This is either gonna sound Australian or British. Uh, Oi there, mate. Do you like some Nando's? I feel
It's
like that
not
was more
bad.
Australian, but all right.
It's
So,
a bit of both, it's kind of
yeah.
mixed.
So, Joseph, for you, or not for you, but based on a biblical perspective, what defines success?
That is a good question. It's like sort of two parts to success in the world we live in. One, from a Christian point of view, it's to become more like Christ and to live our lives for Him, in like loving others. The sort of cliche statements like "love your neighbor as yourself" and being that light. And also the second part to success, you can say, is on earth, where you can get wealth, you can get resources, you can get fame as a form of success. So it's like two parts to that question. But for me, success is becoming more like Christ and being an inspiration to young people. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna dive into this a little bit deeper and then tell me what your thoughts are, and feel free to object if you feel like anything I'm saying is wrong. Okay? But
Cool. Yeah, let's go.
let me see. So I agree slash kind of disagree with whenever you said, just hear me out. Um, that okay, I agree because the dictionary definition of success is an accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. A lot of people set their aim or their goal or their purpose as to make money in life. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that our purpose is we were created to have a relationship with God, like an intimate relationship. And um, many people who are of the world look at success as worldly wealth, whenever rather true wealth is a spiritual wealth that fulfills your purpose for living, which is faith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know where I heard this, but uh, money is, well, I mean, obviously, money is not the currency that is used in heaven. It's the amount of faith that you have. Like if you look at Luke 9:23, it says, then he said to them all, if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself daily. Well, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and is himself destroyed or lost? So that's why I just said what I just said about faith is the amount of currency, because if you're not willing to, I guess, exercise that amount of faith and follow Christ, then you may not be following him for the right purpose. What are
Mm.
your thoughts?
Yeah, I can say I 100% agree with that because I was gonna uh, sort of reiterate. It's like a similar um, principle and verse actually, but
Yeah.
it's in Mark. It's literally the same couple of verses I was gonna
Yeah.
use. Mark 8 verses 35 to 38, and it talks literally about um, what would it, it profit a man to gain the whole world, yeah, lose its soul. And it also reminds me of the scriptures like throughout Ecclesiastes, where it says like you're here one moment and you're gone the other. So even if you
Yeah.
gather some like monetary gain, it's not gonna you can't take it with you, you know. So yeah, I agree with that. Like I think when it comes back to scripture, like it's very hard to like sort of disagree with the straightforward uh, principles. I think we can often allow our pride to get in the way when we do achieve some sort of success on earth, and we forget the scriptures, or we have the tendency to forget. So yeah, I'll say that.
All right. It's funny that you bring up Ecclesiastes, because I was actually going to bring that up too. If you look at, like, I don't know if this is the exact one you were talking about. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, Either way, it's Ecclesiastes 1:1, whenever Solomon is like, all is vanity. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Greek word for vanity basically means it's like a bubble that pops, something like that. And that it's temporary and it doesn't matter. Solomon, if you look at him, he was richer than Jeff Bezos, so he's like richer than
By
any of
far.
us will ever be. He had more wives, like 500, I don't know, like
Crazy
he
number,
had
yeah.
crazy amount. But he asked for wisdom, and God also gave him money and wealth. And I feel like because God also gave him the money and wealth, he was able to like go spend all that and find out that no matter how much money or things we have, life is
Mm-hmm.
has no meaning without having an intimate relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And I would also add like, um, I think I was looking up a video when I was studying Ecclesiastes a few years ago, and I think they used, I think it's Hebrew. The Hebrew word is hevel. Life is hevel, and it's sort of like what the Greek is saying as well. Like it's just a vapor. Like you're here one minute and you're gone the other. And as morbid and as low as it can be, you can't take anything that you have here when you pass away, and when your time on earth is done. You can't do it. You can't take that with you. And so it's only temporary. So you have to. I think the other part to whatever you have here is this is the principle of stewardship. You have to look after it. You have to look after. I don't know. For example,
Yeah.
this body, my phone and other things. Have to just learn how to use it properly to glorify God. So I think so. When we establish, yeah, you can't gain the whole world. You can't keep the things you have on earth. The other option is to steward it and to look after it. Whether that's a person, it could be, I don't know, siblings or even a girlfriend or wife or whatever. You steward them, you look after them, like as if God was literally next to you saying, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to look after them? Like, how to learn how to steward it well.
Yeah, definitely. Um, we are just stewards of the things that God has given us, using it for His glory. Um, so What would you say is the bottom line for what defines success?
Bottom line. If I was to, this literally just came to mind. Is it worth losing your life for? Like, is having whatever worth losing your life for? Sort of reiterating those
Yeah.
verses. Is it worth if your definition of success is like, okay, I'm spending my whole 80 years or so on earth just having this one aim, one goal. And when I get it, will you still feel fulfilled? Because there's so many people out there that have so much, but they feel a hole, and they're missing something. And I think at the bottom line of it is, even when you get these things, who's your source? Is it yourself, or is it the people's opinions, or is it God ultimately? Yes, that's what I'll say to that.
All right. Well, I was going to try to make another one, but that's a really good one. I like that because not only does it reiterate the verses, it's nice and simple. It's like, oh, okay, so is watching the entire Office 8 times worth losing my life? And like, people are actually doing it. It's like something they actually have to consider. But I like that. So whatever you're willing to lose your life for, that's what defines success.
Mm.
All right. Well, any closing comments?
I'll just say for anyone who's watching, especially those in our generation, um, to just be careful because it's easy to idolize people and things and ambitions as well when ultimately even if you get those you won't be happy, you won't be satisfied. So uh, I would say go back to the source, go back to God, and even then pray and ask God, all right, God, help me to steward this, help me to be real with you. And yes, that's what I'll say there.
All right. I definitely agree with that. So another closing comment I just want to make real fast, in addition to what you just said. Um, like, guys, don't be looking to social media or just look to God because He's the only one that you're going to find true satisfaction in. Humanity will leave you hopeless, but if you trust in God, He'll give you hope. But
Mm-hmm. Mic drop.
boom. All right. Well, Joseph, thank you for joining me to talk about what defines success. Thank you again.
You're welcome. It was amazing.